Hey, bro, that move, that Reggie White move.
Reggie White's about to kill you now.
I gotta get Robert Smith. He gotta corroborate this story. Robert Smith, he gotta corroborate. That boy Reggie.
Did you know that, Robert?
Yeah, I did know that, and the first time that Reggie was up there in that we played them, it was up in Minnesota, and man, I'm not scared of any human being in the city. Like, there are people I'd rather not mess with, but you fear no man, as they say. And Reggie White, I mean, Corey Stringer's playing right tackle, and Reggie White just ran him over, and I was on that side to help, right? And the only reason that he didn't get to sack the quarterback was because I was just able to slow him down enough, because it took him a little bit of time to actually run over Corey, like physically, like you say he ran him over. Like, he has to actually get over him, right? So by the time he got over him, I was set up, to block him, and it was able to keep him from the quarterback. But man, there's another funny video. You got to check this one out. By the way, I just tweeted a picture of me jumping over the goal line at Lambeau, and Reggie's got his arms fully up and extended. There's some people that you don't mess with, right? Like, yeah. I'm not taking the ball over near you. I'm jumping over. I'm jumping that way, not this way, not towards Reggie. But man, there was this one play design where
Hey, Robert, here's the picture, by the way, that everyone can see.
Oh, Lord.
You got some ups, my man.
That's cool.
But I don't even know why they designed this play this way. But they had Chris Carter. They had Chris Carter like on a sift block where he's coming back, across the line, and Reggie's over there. And Reggie and Chris were boys, right? No, not on game day, man. Like, you talk about the club move and how it worked on 350-pound offensive linemen. What do you think he did to Chris Carter? Like, I mean, like, it looked like one of those scenes like where somebody's got some beer muscles at the bar, and there's a steroid bouncer in charge, right? And like just physically just threw him. I mean, it was impressive. It was always fun to play against Reggie, though, man. Great guy. Rest in peace. But man, you knew. You don't go cut Reggie.
And Robert, the thing that I always go back to is during that era, you look at it, everybody say Lawrence Taylor is the best. Some people say he's the best defensive football player that ever played against.
Bruce Smith.
Bruce Smith was really good. But in the era you played in, people don't understand that was the golden era.
Yeah.
You had guys like Kevin Green. You had Dolman. You also
you had Johnny Randall on our team.
John Randall was on your team. You still
we had Warren Sapp,
Warren Strahan. Everybody, these guys, and Derek Thomas. I remember when Derek Thomas, he was the first dude I ever seen get 5. I said, he got 5-6 sacks. Derek Thomas is unstoppable.
Derek Thomas was great. So, preseason tempo is a little bit different, right?
Yeah.
And we would go to the outside linebackers in particular, before the game, and it was like, we good? Yeah, we good. Hey, I'm not cutting you, but it's not going to be, some sort of bull rush, right? So you just you know what the tempo is going to be. I remember having those conversations with Derek, and may Derek rest in peace too. But a story about Warren. Warren was rushing one time, and he was an interior tackle, but he was rushing one time, and I don't remember why I was matched up on it. But, you don't want to make a living having your running back matched up on Warren Sapp. But I went out to block him, and he jumped, just expecting the cut. And sure enough, wow, I cut him. and he landed like on his damn head, right? I remember Warren getting up, and he's like, "Man, you do that shit. You do that again."
That's how you know it's real.
That's how you know the story real, because you know Warren Sapp said it like that.
He having a relapse.
He said, "I'm a bust, Joe." I said, "Hey, man, you know, I got to do it. What do you expect me to stay up?" And he was laughing about it, thankfully. Right? One of those things, like, he knew he got caught. He knew he shouldn't have been up in the air like that. Like, I got to cut you, man.
Man.
Robert, as a running back, who was the toughest to pick up? Like, who hit you the hardest?
Well, see, but this is like the hardest hit I ever took was from Brock Marion. It was either Brock Marion or it was Darren Woodson. I don't remember because it happened. Like when it happened, it was back before they had what is the show where they're inside the locker room during
Hard
what is
Knocks.
it again?
Hard Knocks.
Hard Knocks. Right. Well, back then it was 6 days to Sunday. Like they had, we were like one of the first ones, and it was us against the Cowboys, like on a Sunday night. And I remember it was a run. I had come through the line, and Jake Reed is, at wideout, and he's coming up, and he's coming to block whoever it was. I don't remember if it was either Brock or Darren, and he just misses them, and they, got their helmet right into my rib cage, right. And like I seriously, I don't understand why they don't say this to you day one in football. Like you might get the breath knocked out of you and think you're gonna die, right? Like I was on the field after I got hit. I'm up and I'm gasping. I'm like, like I can't take a breath in, right? And I completely convinced myself that I was going to die on national TV. And I'm walking to the sideline and I'm laughing, right? And everybody's like, "What are you laughing about?" Like, I swear to God, 10 seconds ago, I thought I was going to die on national TV. So I was just happy to get to the sideline.
Boy.
Robert, let's switch gears to college football, the first college football rankings. It always blows my mind that people get so worked up about these rankings. Like, it doesn't, like, first of all, it's so early. This week alone, Tennessee and Georgia are playing each other. So, like, people are upset that Ohio State's number 2, but what does it matter? Because we know that the Tennessee-Georgia winner is going to be number 1, no matter what. Ohio State could beat Northwestern by 100, and the Tennessee, which they might, and Tennessee-Georgia winner is going to be number 1, and they should be number 1, the winner of that game.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't matter,
so
right?
Nuts.
Like, I guess the only way that it matters is you kind of get, an inside view or at least an idea of kind of how teams are going to be ranked. They talked about Alabama and TCU and talked about game control, and I'm not one of those people that thinks that the committee has some sort of agenda. I just don't see it that way. I mean, there are some really good people in there. I think Todd Willingham is still on there. Ty was my running back coach when I was with the Vikings, and Ty's not the kind of guy that's going to, tolerate any kind of mess or any type of agendas or anything like that. People don't like it, but I think that they've gotten it right time and time again, and it's a thorough process. And more importantly, you got a lot of different voices to kind of even out any potential biases that might exist. But honestly, I don't know why anybody cares. The only rankings that matter are the ones that happen after the final regular season game.
Yeah.
Robert, did you watch the Penn State game when they played them last Saturday? Do you think that the game that Jalen Tuimoloau had was the single greatest defensive performance you've ever watched?
Man, the craziest thing for me was the first interception because of the way that he broke on the ball. Mm-hmm. I mean, the diagnosis, that recognition, but getting his foot in the ground the way that he did and the way that he burst it. I mean, damn! I didn't. And I know that he's been close this year, right? Mm-hmm. Like he's been, developing, as a pass rusher and getting more pressure. Didn't necessarily have the numbers, But I think that was the most impressive one to me. And, the way that he caught the second interception so cleanly.
Yeah.
They were both surprising to me. But that first one, just the way that he broke on that ball, man, I didn't know that he had feet like that. I didn't know that, a big guy, you're talking 270 pounds breaking on a ball like that. I mean, there are so many things that you see in today's game. Whether like Jordan Davis, the former Georgia guy, like a 4.7 or something stupid, right? Like something that doesn't make any sense. You see so many things from these players that just surprise you. Like it shouldn't. It seems like it shouldn't be possible physically, but man, that's having a damn day, right?
Robert, I look at Ohio State, and before there was a period where I would say Ohio State is a school known for running backs. But then after as that went on, I was like, hold on, well maybe they might be known for defensive backs. For a while they had a DB, but now I think they are known for wide receivers. Like every year, like you look at you know what I'm saying, you look at what they had in Olave and Wilson last year. Then Smith and Jigba comes out, and he had the best year of both of them last year. But then he doesn't play. Now they got Marvin Harrison Jr., and they just spot shadowing. How many teams in the country would be like, man, Jackson Smith and Jigba's out. We can't do nothing. We got to run the ball. No, they got Marvin Harrison, and they just spot shadow him. I don't know if Ohio State is going to be, they'll continue to do that. But I think, to me, they're known for wide receivers at this point.
No question about it. Alabama kind of had that for a few years, and what's funny is Jamison Williams, who was at Alabama, had been at Ohio State. So you really had three guys that Ohio State had on their roster drafted with consecutive picks in the first round last year. Crazy. I mean, it doesn't make any sense. And Brian Hartline was obviously a great receiver, at Ohio State and did his thing for a while down there in Miami. But, man, he is recruiting the hell out of those guys and developing them too. And I think that's the most important part, because when you show that you can take a guy from these high school systems, get them into your system at the college level and develop them into pros, that's what makes kids, that makes kids want to go and play for you. And that's what Brian Hartline's been able to do.
Robert, we appreciate the time as always, man. Thanks for joining us.
Appreciate you.
Okay, guys. Take it easy.
See you, Robert. We're going to get to true or false.